Hello everybody, in this lesson I would like to talk about this cinema retro type light box where we have a bunch of lights that have a different type of animation. So um, let's see how I actually did that. So from the very beginning I have a text, the cinema, and I have added string lengths attribute, the word attribute, which has all the letters in case I want to use them um, separately to add an effect. You will see why I actually used it. Then I've made a very basic um, a board light box, let's say, and then I started to add different type of effects. So let's see the first one. So what I did, I used the text as a sample, those points. Then I fused them just to have a little less points than um, there's actually is. Then I deleted the point numbers that are modulus by 2, uh, which gives me a little less points that I actually need, that I actually have. So so the effect would be more noticeable. Um, then I delete the geometry, but I keep the points, so I could work on points themselves. Um, just um, in case there is point duplicates on top of each other, so I use the fuse node. So I added the sort node with the shift point sort, and I added expression of time multiplied by 7, so I could shift the point number. Then I added a group, two type of groups. One is the light is on, and the other is light off group. And here I'm assigning uh, these are off lights actually, but I haven't used, which is fine because on top of it I add on group, and then I assign um, a light color which is on. And if I now have made it, so here's my first effect. So the sort node just shifts the point number, and this I have them running. The second effect is the same effect, but um, I used the expression, whereas the first one I used the condition. Uh, the point number is modulus by 2, but the second expression was the point number modulus by 5. So there is a bigger gap between the points, and it's the same effect, but it's kind of a different variation. Okay, next next effect. I use the outline of letters, and I assigned um, the asset, the tool that I've created, which you can download on my uh, page, uh, so which allows you to create an animation on the gradient animation on those lines. Yeah, and this way I transfer them onto points. I have them running 2 points, and I assign color, and I delete alpha. Um, this way I have this type effect. Yeah. Um, we can also play with random colors. Let's say I've added a point with the random colors on it, so it gives you an interesting color variation and animation as well. You can also use it for Christmas trees. It will look very nice. Also, you can use a different type of gradients, not only one color, and also you can play with the ramp value, which also gives you an interesting effect. Type of neon lights. Okay. So the next effect is actually the lights are on and off. Okay, so I have one of them is off, the other is on, and just simple sinus function uh, on switch node, and it will play. So here you have a frequency, so you can speed up or slow down the animation. Right. Next one is it's animation by letter. Yeah. Here you have sort value, so you can backwards and forwards the animation, and this way this is where you might need this word attribute, which counts the letters, gives you the number of letters in your word or text, and sometimes you might have like semicolons and like a letter which has um, like a few elements, not the one whole element, but a few elements. So this way, this expression will read you as one letter instead of several primitives, just one letter. So in my case, if I just my detail, so I assign to detail my word attribute has 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 letters. Okay, so here I have animation by letter. Next, I have a vertical animation. Speaking about animation by letter, so what I did, I actually used the sort attribute and used by X, and then I gave it a color of a black color. Then I sorted out. Also, I added um, primitive sort. I used shift method and used an expression by frame, and I give uh, uh, different color, I mean the light color, to my zero primitive, and this way when it shifts you have the kind of shifting animation. Then I promote my color on 2 points, and then I use attribute transfer uh, to transfer it onto my points, which also have color off. Okay, the next one is the vertical animation. Here I'm using the word. I use the bound box, which I transform. I squeeze it so I could have a vertical line. Here I have my line. I resample it, and again I assign a sort just to drive my animation, and then I use the tool, or line effects tool, um, to create some gradient animation, and then I use the attribute transfer, and I transfer this color data onto my letters. And the last one, was a horizontal type effect, which also is the same, but instead of squeezing it vertically, I squeeze it horizontally, so I have a horizontal line, which also I fuse, resample, sorted, and added um, a ramp effect, and also transfer the attribute color data onto my letters, so I have the kind of, maybe it's a little fast, so you can control it's the speed of, you can just get a little slower, so, and also can put our own pattern. Well, that's all that I want to say. I hope you liked the lesson and the information was useful, and I hope to see you in the future lessons. Thank you very much, and goodbye.